I saw Sinners finally in
hell
IMAX.
yeah.
Yes.
It was very, very good.
Yes.
It is so good. Highly recommend, especially seeing it. Like, I think, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, it might have been me, see it on the biggest screen you possibly
Yeah.
can, because it is absolutely worth it.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm really, really keen to. I was absolutely sold on seeing it after watching a video that he did for the Kodak YouTube channel, where he's just talking about. Sorry,
stop.
by he I mean Ryan Coogler, just talking about different film formats, and I was just like, man, what a nerd! This movie's got to be great. I love it.
It's incredible.
So Vistavision, how does everybody feel about the revival of that format? Given that there's only about 7 working Vistavision cameras in the world.
You've reminded me again that I also need to see The Brutalist. That's pretty cool. I like interesting formats. We did a video for our Magic web series Friday nights this year with where we shot with anamorphic, not strictly pure anamorphic lenses, but with an anamorphic adapter.
Yeah.
From Moment, and so it took our normal Canon. We just used like normal lenses, and it sort of does the anamorphic squeezy on them, and it was so cool. It was really cool, and we did that one at normally we film most of our stuff at 30 frames per second because it's like whatever, it's the internet, we'll just do it all at 30. But for that one, because we were trying to emulate Wes Anderson, we were like, all right, well, this one we'll shoot at 24, and the combination of the anamorphic and the 24, I was like, damn,
it's nice.
This
fun.
is real nice.
Oh yeah.
Like I picked up some, I've got some pretty relatively inexpensive anamorphic lenses that we picked up for, this is financial advice, because I knew that that the whole like B plot I wanted to shoot in anamorphic. And it was a lot of fun. I mean, granted, here the thing that I wrestle with in my career is that it is equally professional, and also like I am also a hobbyist in my own ways. So every now and then there's a thing where it's like, oh, I need to get this thing because I wrote it into a script that I needed to go get it. What a coincidence that I have found a justification for picking up a thing that I want.
That's sweet. I'll say I did after doing that. Not anamorphic, because it was honestly kind of a pain. If we had actually anamorphic lenses rather than the adapter,
the adapters
are
a lot of hassle.
Yeah, I might be tempted to use it more often, but I have been like, I kind of just want to start using 24 FPS for our like scripted works.
I mean, I'm using it for this.
Yeah, we did. So I have a second camera here, and this camera is unintentionally, I don't know why, this is at 20. This is not on purpose. It's just that this camera, it's a Canon
webcam?
EOS, and like, this is like a DSLR that I'm using as a webcam, and it doesn't get a great frame rate.
Like a T5?
It's a 70D.
A 70D. Oh,
70D.
We just don't use it for anything else. This is an iPhone. Very, very strange. But yeah, if you're watching and a Loading Ready Run fan, the last episode of Commodore Hustle that we did last month was at 24 frames per second. And I don't think anybody noticed or cared, but I did. I was looking at the wrong camera.
It did look good.
Frame rate. It is cursed. I don't know what frame rate it is. It's definitely not the 30 it claims. Sorry, we're all laughing at what's visible behind Colin right now, which is the mic caption. I completely lost myself in Greece.
You can tell that's like a PR photo where you have to do like 50 back to back, and then
Oh yeah.
why it looks so sad. Look at this sad boy.
Darth Paradox asks, what makes 24 frames per second look better than 30?
Nothing. Okay.
That's
How,
like a
how
really
long of how long of an answer do you want? Nothing, but also like expectation, but also there is a element of
Language of cinema.
so by lowering the temporal resolution, you create a gulch that of information that needs to be filled by your imagination, and that is in the the blur between frames. It is the discontinuity between frames, and that space has some element to it that aids in narrative in a way that we've gotten really used to. Now, 30p really doesn't actually look all that different. A lot of people, when they think 30, they're thinking 30i, which is actually like 60 fields per second, which it's actually like a lot higher temporal resolution than 24. But somebody please stop me, otherwise I'm gonna open up. It's gonna be like, okay,
Dude, me
so
with
just a sec.
bunnies.
Let
I
me
get
open
it.
my Google Doc
The thing is,
on
I'm
high
sitting here
frame
like-
rate cinema.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm simultaneously thinking, yeah, this is all great, and also, we might be losing them.
We might be losing them. We might
Here's
be
the
losing
thing.
them.
I was watching chat because Jonesy is down here wanting me to pet him, and I'm like, dude, I can't right now. And chat's just like, long answer, teach us, long answer. Yes.
I would actually like to hear. I want to hear more of that. Honestly, Dan, I do actually want to hear more of that. But there was someone in chat which was like, wondering, Mikey, from the reviewing perspective, like, does 24 make you feel different?
Like it's a comfort feature, to use a game term. Like, you take jump out of your game, everyone notices there's not jump. The game might not need jump, you know what I mean? Like, so we got used to 24, and then Peter Jackson tried to make us unused to that. And it didn't work.
See,
Can
and
I
my
talk
criticism
about
there
this?
is they should have used 48 at a 360-degree shutter, which maintains the
Right.
the motion blur of 24, but doubles the temporal continuity.
Right.
I really I've used that in a bunch of videos. Like if I needed to use game footage, all the stuff I shoot in my studio, I shoot at 48 with a 360-degree shutter, and then merge that. It looks great. I love it. But it's also a huge hassle because you can't actually shoot at a 48 time base. So you need to shoot 24 off speed 48 and then retime it and resync it in post, and it's a huge hassle, and your
It gets
sound
you
sync might be
nothing.
off.
I don't know if this is on topic at all because I'm only half awake, but
There you
I
go.
saw this information today about, it's kind of on topic, about how sometimes frames are lost enough that they have to add in more of something to make it possible. So like they put more tires on a vehicle when they exploded it than the vehicle actually has, and like when explosions go off, it's like really, really big combustible stuff, because when the frames are like catching it all, you
Right.
miss some
They
Yeah.
explode so quickly that you wouldn't see all
that
the
you wouldn't
tires
see it all. So they add
Yeah.
more. So sometimes if you look really closely in some fills, a car with 4 wheels actually has 5 come off of it because it caught enough of it. Like,
That's amazing.
yeah.
Oh, that's really good. I like that a lot. Dan, I got to talk to you about that particular thing at some other point. But did I tell either of you about when I saw The Hobbit?
Ugh.
Did
No.
I tell anyone
No, I
here?
don't
Have
think-
I told this at Desert Bus before? I
don't
felt
think
like I was unstuck in time. I was at the Cinerama in Seattle, which is an
It was a
amazing,
great theater.
amazing theater to see movies in. It's got this huge screen, and it wasn't 3D, but it was one of the 48 frame per second showing. I did this during the Wet Ones with Dan. Wow.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything.
never
I was
remember
just gonna
anything that
let
happens
you.
at Desert
I was
Bus.
gonna let you have it. You know, some people
Man,
might have
it's okay.
missed it.
Anyway, yeah. The point is, I felt like I was high. I felt like I was. I spent the first third to half of the movie being like, I don't like this. It's weird. It felt. It was just. It was. Ugh, it was very, very odd until like the gears of my brain finally were like, and then I could. I mean, not enjoy it, but I could watch
You
it.
got there.
Yeah.
I remember overclocking my PC so that I could get 127 frames a second in Quake 3.
Yeah.
And I remember like learning that was like really like the level the human eye can see at. I think is 127 is about right where we stop
You
perceiving
start.
frames.
There's significant diminishing returns. Yeah.
Right.
I have answers for chat. Sorry, real quick. The mystery
We have
box
a minute left in this
giveaway.
giveaway.
We have a minute left in the giveaway. So if you want to get your chance, $7.78 or multiples thereof for a chance to win the Tellurian Community College Bundle, Magic box for Magic. So do that.
Magique.
Your mystery box giveaway later is an individual giveaway. So donations now do not count towards that. It will be its own thing. So that's your answer. It is not a silent auction. It is a giveaway. It's its own individual giveaway. And because a bunch of people just showed up and I'm seeing this constantly, our bus is not being driven by us. Everybody put your hands up. It is by our lovely volunteers throughout the years. They are remotely driving the bus. So just look at the name down below and you'll see who it is.
Now wave them like you just don't care.
I still don't know which Alex Eastfald it is.
Who's to say?
It is.
Oh, we've
Mr.
invoked a
Alex
dance party.
Eastfeld.
Look at that.
You know? That's it. You can continue being camera nerds. Go ahead.
Oh, it's Alex the Taller. Excellent.
Yes.
So one of the big things with high frame rate cinematography, it was Gemini Man that really like crystallized this for me, is that as you increase the temporal resolution, you increase the realism. But the problem is that the realism that you are moving towards is not a more realistic film. It's the reality of these are actors on a controlled set doing stunts around manufactured explosives that are intended to be safe. And so all of the like grenades in Gemini Man, you're just like, that's a squib. It looks like a squib. It looks exactly like when you set off a squib on set and you're like, that doesn't, because you do these stunts on set and you're like, that didn't look that impressive. And then you go watch the replay and you're like, oh, that looks sick. And
It's so wild.
Gemini Man takes that out. You're like, that's a squib. That's a squib. There's a whole bike scene where you're just like, you can tell that they're driving like 15 kilometers an hour for safety reasons. Because the frame rate is so high, where it's like if it were a lower frame rate and you played with the cinematography, you can manipulate the sense of speed. You can make it feel really fast, even though you're not actually going that fast. Which is how like skateboard videos, manipulate things so that like it feels sick, even though you're doing like a 6-inch jump or something like that. Right?
Sure.
This is why I can't with like dramatic television from like Japan or Korea, because they shoot it on like video cameras.
Yeah.
So even though it is shot with cinematography, like I was watching like a police procedural, and the cinematography, the way that the shots are framed and the way that it's edited is like an episode of CSI, but it looks like a soap opera. because
Oh,
the frame rate is
Brain.
so high, and
I
I'm
see
like,
what you're saying.
and I'm like, this looks cheap and butts. Like it, I just can't. I just can't deal with it.
Huh.
Yeah. Oh, Dan, a lot of people were asking what's a squib.
It's a small controlled explosive. So you use it for like you'll
Chad.
put them like you'll hide them in the drywall so that like bullet impacts or blood spurts or whatever.
That's how they used to do, like when someone gets shot and they go like,
Yeah, and then you do the
like,
stuntman wiggle.
and they go,
And someone's
like
sitting there and
exploding
they've
blood.
got the first time we ever built one, it's like you take a 2x4 and you put a whole bunch of nails in it, and you run all of your leads to the nails, and then the anode is attached to a screwdriver, and then you just like
Ooh, okay.
run it across the nails, and they all explode in sequence, and that's how you create machine gun fire.
I have a